One of the things I love about minivan camping is the simplicity. I love being able to convert my everyday driver into a comfortable camper in just a few minutes, which I demonstrated in this recent video. I received a lot of great questions, suggestions, and mostly positive comments on that video. Today, I'll answer a couple of the most common questions and the one suggestion that changed my mind and resulted in what, for me, is a major upgrade to my minivan camping setup. By far, the most common question was, where do you go to the bathroom? Where's your toilet? Well, I don't have a toilet in the minivan. I do what I did for many years, tent camping. I camp in campgrounds. So most campgrounds have either a regular flush toilet or a pit toilet, and that's where I go to the bathroom. The second most common question was, what about your wife? Does she stay at a hotel? Does she sleep in the rooftop cargo carrier? Well, of course not. She sleeps in here with me. And the nice thing about having the trunkmate bed platform is I can easily convert from a one-person sleeper like I have today to a couple sleeper when it's my wife and I together. I did a whole video explaining how I do that conversion, so check it out. A few of the comments recommended I upgrade my cooler to a portable refrigerator. And when I showed those comments to my wife, she agreed. A cooler is mostly fine. After all, it's what I used for many decades. But there are some downsides. You have to make or buy ice, and on a long road trip, that cost can add up. The ice melts, and if you're not careful, your food can get soggy, and you can't keep items frozen in a cooler. So without further ado, let me show you what I've upgraded to. This is an ICECO GO20, a 21-quart dual-zone freezer-fridge combination, and this is an ICECO 250 watt-hour power bank. The folks at ICECO reached out to me and offered to send me this GO20 and this power bank in exchange for a review on my YouTube channel, which was good timing because I was already thinking of buying a portable fridge. The only stipulation I had for the ICECO folks was I said I've got to use this fridge and power bank for a while. I've got to know the ins and outs. I've got to know whether I like it so that I can do an authentic review. And the ICECO folks said, of course. So here's how I've been using the ICECO GO20 for the past month so that I can fully get to know it and I can do an authentic review. The first thing I did was set it up as a beer fridge in my garage, for which it worked out great. Second, my wife and I went on a shopping trip where we had to get some groceries, but we knew we wouldn't be coming home until much later. So we set up the GO20 and the power bank in the back of the car, put our groceries inside, and kept them cool for hours before we went home. Third, I went to a concert at Red Rocks and used the GO20 for tailgating. It worked out great. And lastly, and most importantly, I've used it now on 2 different camping trips. So let's get into it. The GO20 has a 21 quart capacity. My old cooler, 24 quarts, but it required ice. So to me, the capacity between the GO20 and my old cooler is about the same. You can configure the GO20 a few different ways. Right now, I've got it so that the entire compartment is a refrigerator, set at 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me explain to you my strategy that I've been using for camping so far. First, I have the GO20 set up at home and plugged into the wall outlet. Everything's nice and cool before I even leave the house. As I'm driving in my minivan camper, I have it plugged into the cigarette lighter auxiliary adapter, so it's running off of the minivan power. When I get to the campground, like yesterday at 4 p.m., I plug it into the ICECO 250 watt-hour power bank. So when I plugged it in yesterday at 4, it was at 100%. It's currently 10 a.m. the following day, and it's 83%. So it's been running entirely off of the battery since 4 p.m. yesterday at 40 degrees, and we're at 83%. One of the cool things about this portable fridge is that I have options. Right now, like I said, I have it set up so the entire compartment is a refrigerator, but I can just take this divider and slide it into the partition, and now this left side is a freezer. Before I received this portable fridge, I had a few questions and concerns. So let me take you through each one and I'll tell you what the conclusion is. My first question, would the sound of the compressor keep me up when I'm trying to sleep in my minivan camper at night? When my fridge at home comes on, I can hear it. And the answer to that is no. This compressor is pretty quiet. It's not like you can't hear it at all, but it's quiet and does not disturb me when I'm trying to sleep. My next question was, would 21 quarts be enough capacity, both on solo trips like today and with my wife on longer trips like a week long or so? And the answer to that is yes. I know that because we made do with that other cooler, which was about the same size. And for this, I think on longer trips, I'll probably just use the fridge, and I had this entire area for both drinks and food. My next question was, will it fit in my minivan camper? Remember, sometimes I travel solo and I have just one bed set up, and sometimes my wife and I travel together and we have both beds set up. So rather than me tell you, let me show you where I put it in my minivan. When I'm traveling solo, like today, the fridge fits nicely at the foot of the front seat. When my wife is with me, I can put the fridge behind the front seat. And in both cases, I can plug the fridge right into the auxiliary power outlet. So after using the ICECO GO20 for a month, would I recommend it to other people? Now remember, I only told the folks at ICECO that I would give an authentic review. But my answer is yes, and I'll explain why. To understand my reasoning, you have to understand my mindset for minivan camping, which is all around simplicity and value. I like to keep it simple. I like to be able to convert my minivan from an everyday driver to a comfortable camper quickly. In value, when I bought this minivan, I set aside a budget for some off-the-shelf items that would provide value for me. If you saw my other video, that's my 3 must-haves. My trunk mate bed platform, my Thule, I know I pronounced that wrong, rooftop cargo carrier, and my trailer hitch cargo carrier that I don't have today, but I use for storage when my wife and I camp together. Given that mindset, I now consider the portable fridge my 4th must-have. It's simple, it just works. I plug it in at home, I plug it into the cigarette lighter auxiliary power in the minivan, or I plug it into the power bank, and I have a nice fridge that simply works. And it adds value. I was already considering buying one of these before the folks at ICECO reached out, and I'm so glad to have one, and it's going to be an essential part of my kit. I love watching minivan camping videos, from simple builds like mine to more complex custom carpentry and craftsmanship. I love them all. So to all the folks who left thoughtful comments and questions and suggestions, thank you. And also thank you to the folks at ICECO for reaching out and offering to send me this fridge for me to review. I've been very happy with it. I'll see you guys on the road. Cheers and happy camping.